Hey there, this is Blaine, aka the Plaid Lad, and I'm coming at you today with a review of my absolute favorite day pack, the Waymark Mile. So the Waymark Mile is a 28-liter pack. There's 22 liters here in the main capacity, and then there's 6 liters in the external pockets. But there are a few ways you can kind of stretch that around a little bit. First, let's talk specs. The Waymark Mile is made out of a X-Pack material. Well, mine is anyway. However, now they use the EcoPack recycled material. I had pre-ordered mine when they first announced this updated version back in, that would have been August of 2021, and I've been using it ever since then. And I'm telling you, this is the best day pack I've ever used. And I've used quite a few. I've used them from Osprey, I've used them from Kelty, I've used them Outdoor Vitals one, and this just takes the cake. So, but anyway, the X-Pack material is waterproof. However, the seams are not. But I did seam seal mine. It's pretty easy to do. All you do is empty out the pack and put like a pillow inside it, even though, you know, at this time it's going to be inside out. So you're putting the pillow on the outside of it, and you take your seam sealer and just brush it on. You just want to make sure you do that in a well-ventilated area. I have had this in all conditions. I use this pack year-round. I've used it in rain, sleet, snow, everything in between, and I've never had anything get wet on the inside of this pack. Alright, so one of my favorite things about this pack is the Lycra front pocket. This thing is just a beast. This thing can fit so much stuff. Right now I have a raincoat and poop kit and a Sawyer squeeze, and I could fit more in there probably. It looks like it's packed to the gills, but this thing can fit more, and this thing always bounces back. If I take this stuff out, it might take a day or two, but it'll compress back down to its original stretch. The other awesome thing with this is this zippered top pocket, and here I just keep I keep tent stakes, because sometimes I use those. I'll bring a hammock out and I'll use those to tent out any guy outs or things like that. A headlamp, first aid kit, and I keep a pocket knife and a couple of carabiners and a little thing of shot cord, because you never know when those come in handy. But you can keep anything you want in there. I have room for so much more in this thing. It's just massive. Absolutely love having that feature. It does have some holders for trekking poles. This will hold on to the tops of the poles here, and this will hold on to the bottoms there. I have used this in a pinch, and it does work really, really well. I do always put my rubber tips on though, just to be safe. It is a more durable material on the bottom, but just to be safe, I don't want to poke any holes in this pack. I always put the rubber tips on when I have this, and that does help secure them in there a little better. On the sides, you do have this little string here as a compression cord. It just has this little line lock on there, and that works pretty good for holding larger items in there. You don't need much more than that. However, a 700 milliliter smart water bottle is a little short for this. But what I typically do to make it work is I loosen it, and I'll wrap this around there once or twice, and then it's hard to get comfortable, and then I tighten it down, and that keeps it pretty secure. So there's a little hack for you there. And oh, for the trekking pole loops too, you can lash things to this little loop they have here on the elastic itself. Right here I just have a little Bluetooth thermometer. I always like to know what temps I'm hiking in, so that way I know how my clothing, my layering system, and my gear performs. On the shoulder straps, I have the Waymark water bottle sleeve. I've been using this exact one ever since I got it, except I do use a different insulated pouch for Nalgene in the wintertime. But this thing has held up fantastic. It's my absolute favorite water bottle pocket. And then along the daisy chain here, I also keep hand sanitizer handy. And then I have the Chicken Tramper cell phone pocket on here. I just find that it's the best pocket to hold my cell phone. I think an underrated feature of this pack is the sternum strap. This is the absolute best sternum strap on any pack I've ever used. And it does have an emergency whistle built into it as well. And I really like having that in a pack because I think it is a good idea to have an emergency whistle, and this keeps it handy, and it's one less thing you have to pack. And it is pretty loud too. Yeah, that's a pretty good little thing there. It is a roll top closure on this, so it's a lot like your typical ultralight style, you know, Dyneema or Eco Pack or Ultra, whatever kind of packs. It's very similar to that, which I really like. I feel like that helps keep a lot of the rain out. And it's a pretty good size pocket. Right now I kind of have like my late summer, early fall loadout in here. In the wintertime I usually add a lot more layers than I carry with me. I never take them out of the pack. That way, in case I ever get in a jam, I always have something. But keep rain pants and all sorts of stuff in there. Easy to throw a hammock in there. I have used this pack for ultralight backpacking trips too, but I don't like to use it, and I'll explain a few things why. I am 6'2", and for the 28-liter pack, this straight up does not come down short enough for me to use a hip belt. It does have removable hip belt loops on it. I have tried using, actually use the Light AF hip belt loops on here, and it only comes up to like my rib cage. So I don't like that it's that short. And because it's that short too, I have a really hard time reaching back and grabbing a water bottle, which is another reason why I don't mind tying this around, because no matter what, I do have to take the pack off to get to most things in the side pockets while I'm wearing it. So that would probably be the biggest negative for me. Now if you're shorter, or if you want to use this for like a kid for like a overnight backpacking trip, that would be perfect. But I get dehydrated really easy on trail, and I like to have a lot of my water accessible, and I hate having to take my pack off because I'm very lazy too. I want everything very accessible. So I do recommend not using it for ultralight backpacking trips if you're a taller person. Another thing, because I can't have the hip belts, it means I can't have the hip belt pockets. So I do usually use a fanny pack in conjunction with this, just to keep some things accessible, like a buff, bug net in the summer, extra gloves in the winter, things like that. So if you do think about getting this pack, I would recommend getting a fanny pack of some sort too, if keeping things accessible is as important to you as it is to me. But again, I'm lazy. I don't want to take this thing off to get stuff out if I don't have to. So I keep as much accessible and upfront to me, so that way I can stay on trail and keep going. That's just my style, and if you want to go more minimalist with it, that's okay. That's up to you. But this is how I do things. So this pack retails for $140 as of right now, which sounds like a lot, but for what you get, this thing is pretty bomb-proof, pretty durable. It's so versatile. You can use it, like I said, year-round. It's so worth that price. And they do have like the pay in 4 options available on their site too. So if cost is a concern, I would check that out. And it does weigh about 16 ounces, in case you're wondering if weight matters to you for a day pack. For me, for a day pack, it doesn't matter all that much, because I'm not doing as many miles typically. But yeah, I absolutely love this pack. Would recommend picking it up. Has a couple of downsides for taller people, but there are some ways around that. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoy this content and want to see more of it, why don't you please click subscribe, pick that bell notification, so that way every time I post a video you guys see something. Thank you again, and I will see you all on the next one.